There's hectic construction activity taking place here in Australia's air bases with the help of the United States. What makes this collaboration interesting is the location of these air bases in Darwin and Tindal in northern Australia. Thanks to its location, Darwin is closer to the Philippines than Australia's capital city of Canberra. It also makes it strategically important in the context of the tension in the South China Sea.
Tindal is geographically really important. We are in the north of Australia, so we have a greater reach into our near region, and we also have the ability to avoid cyclones by being that little bit further inland. So that's that weather that can impact our capacity to respond to incidents is not something that we suffer from here in Tindal to the extent that they do in Darwin. So that does make this location vitally important.
Darwin has been a garrison town in Australia for years. A US Marine rotational force also spends 6 months here per year. A few hundred kilometers to the south of Darwin is Tindal, another Royal Australian Air Force base that has key elements of Australia's air power and was a temporary base for US jets in recent exercises. Documents reviewed by Reuters show that the US military wants to be ready in the event that there is any escalation in the South China Sea.
So yes, Darwin is absolutely again what we call key terrain for us to help bring stability to the region. It gives us access to the southern portion of those islands that you mentioned earlier, through a nation in which we have close sovereign ties with. Our governments are aligned, our militaries are aligned, so it really is just a prime area for the Marine Corps to be able to come and train with the Australian Defence Forces and gain access to the region. So we're more focused on, again, that interoperability with the Australian Defence Forces. How can we project power from Northern Australia into the region, working with the Philippine Defence Forces, again, Papua New Guinea, Timor-Leste, Indonesia, etc.
In fact, war games this month included troops from the Philippines and Timor-Leste. So what exactly does the construction activity involve?
Tindal has traditionally been a fast jet base, and what that means is that we've had small runways, the amount of fuel that we need for fast jets to take off and land. What we're moving towards is a multi-purpose base, so we're going to be big enough to take any aircraft in the world and to park and fly every different variant of aircraft. So there's runway increases, fuel increases, and a whole bunch of other facilities that are being worked on as well.
The United States has started building facilities worth hundreds of millions of dollars to support B-52 bombers, F-22 stealth fighters, and refueling and transport aircraft. This is part of a larger effort to distribute US forces around the region and make them less vulnerable. These construction projects are expected to continue next year too and aim to make Northern Australia the top overseas location for US Air Force and Navy construction spending, with more than $300 million set aside under the US congressional defense authorizations.